Hi, here is the All Saints Amersfoort Anglican Church devotional for the 6th of April. It includes the reading and a short devotional. John 12, verses 1 to 11. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus lived, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served, while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wages. And he did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. As keeper of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put into it. Leave her alone, Jesus replied. It was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of my burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. Meanwhile, a large crowd of Jews found out that Jesus was there and came, not only because of him, but also to see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. So the chief priests made plans to kill Lazarus as well, for on account of him, many of the Jews were going over to Jesus and believing in him. Well, Dan Ariely is a famous behavioral economist, and he says that his studies do not suggest we can just kick bad people like Judas and clean up society. No, in his words, we are all quite capable of behaving badly. In his experiments with money that he did with about 30,000 people, he came across 12 big Judases. And these 12 big Judases stole about $150 from him. But there were, in those 30,000 participants, 18,000 little Judases, and they stole in total $36,000 during the experiments. He goes on to say that the more we can rationalize our behavior, the more likely we are to cheat. In his words, thanks to our flexible cognitive psychology and our ability to rationalize our actions, we can cheat just a little, but still feel that we are honest, wonderful people. It's all about rationalization, he says. So how did Judas rationalize stealing from Jesus' ministry? How would you rationalize stealing from Jesus? Well, Judas might think Peter and James and John are just idiots, and they are always giving money to the wrong people for the wrong reasons. Or he might think, well, I know about money, and I'm never compensated for the hard work I do as a treasurer, so I'll just give myself a little extra bonus for my hard work. It's only fair. When my son, Winston, was only about 2 years old, I put him on the stairs because he had disobeyed. When I came back, only after like 5 minutes, he was sitting in the same place, but now his hair was soaking wet. Winston pretended that everything was normal. Winston, I said, why is your head wet? Because I disobeyed, he sort of mumbled. I said, yes, you disobeyed. That's why you were sitting on the stairs in the first place. But why is your hair wet? And with perfect aplomb, he replied, because I put my head in the toilet. So as you can imagine, in utter astonishment, I asked, why did you put your head in the toilet? And in perfect honesty, without a hint of shame, he replied, because I have wanted to. And isn't that what so much of our rationalized sin comes down to? We just want to do something different than what the tax authorities think we should do. We just don't want to come on to work on time, or we just want to have a little flirt because even though we are married, or we want to follow Christ, but we don't want to let go of that little favorite sin because we have wanted to. And to make ourselves feel better, we justify it with a little story. We rationalize our behavior so we can go on believing we are honest, wonderful people. But God's law exposes our inability to be honest and wonderful. And this should bring us to the realization that our only hope lies not within us, nor in our clever rationalizations, but in the perfect and holy God who gave himself for us. Because on our own, in this fallen world, we, like Judas, just won't keep our heads out of the toilet. Have a blessed day.